Hopefully all the audio issues have been sorted out. Sorry about that. Once again, we're doing everything live here at the LAN. It's a lot of fun. We got a hell of a lot of people, but of course when you do live events, sometimes shit fucks up. Really the only way to say it. So, but to tell you the truth, if you were here for that last game, the Nuka-Palooza put on by Avalo, I don't think you're going to be too disappointed in. This is the IG LAN event #1, brought to you by itsghosty.com. I'm EC, that's Red Maze JR, and I think we're about ready to move into Game 2 here.
Yep, moving in right now. We're going to see VT Avalo take on Orb. The other TVP, we're going to MLG Test Bug right now. Avalo taking 1-0 off that Nuke Fest that we saw, previously on Tal'Darim Altar. And this is going to be, in the chat, Orb was asking him if he's going to take advantage of his color blindness because of Orb, because Orb is has a slight color blindness, so it's kind of hard for him to really get in and see certain colors, and he was, I don't know if that was his inability to see those nukes coming in or what, but that was just absolutely brutal play there by Avalo.
Oh, yeah, Avalo. And I can't help but think it was a little bit of showmanship, too, just really wanting to excite the crowd, and it worked. We had about, a couple dozen people here on their feet, cheering, literally laughing. I'm sure you could hear them over the stream. So going to have Orb spawning in the orange down here in that bottom position at Test Bug, and Avalo going to be over in the, the sandy region, I guess you'd say. Not quite the beach area that we see at the top, but down here at this temple-ish region. And this region kind of always reminds me of WoW. It just looks like a World of Warcraft area.
In that nice little intro, yeah, and that is kind of the cool thing. Not only are they in space, but they have a floating island, and they have the floating beach area where like you were saying. And
right.
What kind of things do you think we can expect out of Avalo in this one? Do you think we're going to see a lot of the nuke play that we did last time?
I don't know. Avalo really just kind of went against the grain of what he likes to do. He's usually a very tank-oriented player, and to my knowledge, we didn't see a single tank in that last game. So I really couldn't tell you. He got a very exciting win there in Game 1. And it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see him really fall back to his normal style, or to see him try a more harassment-based style. We have seen Avalo make good use of Banshees in the past. He knows how to harass a Protoss, and even though, and again, that last game really was kind of bizarre. It really kind of blows my mind. It went on as long as it did. Orb was way, way behind, and somehow managed to claw his way back into it and elongate that game, extend that game to close to the 40-minute mark. So I really couldn't tell you. We're going to find out real soon, though. He's using the very standard opening. Nothing too special. Got the barracks, the gas, and the orbital command up on time. No shenanigans there. And Orb chrono boosting out some probes. Now throwing down the cybernetics core. That's actually, I guess that's actually pretty late. So either way, probably going to see, I don't think Orb's going to do anything crazy like try to fast expand. Avalo just punished that so bad the last time.
Yeah, I think we'll see a little bit more slow and steady is going to win the pace here for Orb, because the Protoss can do a little bit more on a one base, as opposed to a Terran like Avalo, who wants to do so much tech stuff, so much
right.
So much harassment. We do see him making that Reaper right now. That's going to give him a huge look at everything that's going on, because he'll be able to come in through the background here, so to speak. Not so much. You don't want to come in through the front door. He's going to take a long path all the way around, or he should. And come in just inside the cloak of the fog of war there, and then come all the way around to really start harassing that mineral line.
Well, see, Avalo's going to try and use the economic advantage. He's not going to be trying to put on too much pressure. Already getting that command center up off of just one barracks. He's got the Reaper out as well, so going to try and use that Reaper, I suppose, not just to scout, but to try and do enough harassment, or to be enough of a bother to make sure that he doesn't see too much early pressure out of Orb, who's going to want to punish this command center if he happens to spot it or just suspect it based on what he's going to see at Avalo's ramp.
Oh yeah, and can't get the stupid stream. There it goes. And with Avalo doing a great job throwing down that bunker there to make sure that he is going to have the proper amount of defense for this kind of situation here, because you don't want to kind of make the same mostly the same mistake that Orb kind of did. He didn't really have a defense for that when he went for that quick expansion. He didn't have a pylon down or a cannon to try to do something to kind of thwart that off. We do see that, boom, right there. We see that the Reaper's going to come in through the long side. It's exactly what he needs to do. He's going to come in and hop in on top of this cliff here, just behind these vents. And this is the perfect place. He should be able to make himself come all the way around in that fog of war Instead, he's just going to go right for it. He's not even going to bother messing around. He's going to take a quick look around, take a quick scout, and then, nothing. He's not really going to bother trying to shoot at anything.
Well, that Reaper was so active. He took the longest, the scenic route on the way over there, checking for proxy pylons, for hidden buildings, anything like that. He's going to see the robotics facility, and he's also going to see the robotics base. So that right there is a crucial piece of information for him to have. He knows exactly what Orb's up to. He's going straight up to Robotech off of nothing but 2 gates, and just now getting the warp gate research finished. Avalo's going to know he's going to be somewhat safe to push out, or not to push out, I'm sorry, to lift this orbital command sometime in the near future and go ahead and take that expansion properly. And we see him now, he's just getting the reactor down on his barracks and really just continuing on. And now we're seeing the tanks that we know and love him for. 1 tank already out, the siege tech just about halfway done. So, it's almost one of those things that's a hallmark of Avalo. He makes, Hellions or Banshees or Marines and Marauders for a little while, but then all of a sudden he kicks into full-on tank mode, and 75% of his army composition is nothing but tanks, and another 10% SCVs building missile turrets right in the middle of the map.
Oh yeah, and we see that that observer is going to be able to come in and see what a great defense that Avalo is starting to put into effect right now. And there goes the scan down. You look for the shimmer. That's exactly what tells you that those hidden units are there. Very, very smart thing right there. And and now we see that you're starting to siege up a couple of tanks there for added defense. Bunkers going down all over the place there to defend that quick expansion, because he knows that his opponent knows that he is expanding. At the same time, Orb's just going to go ahead and he's about 80-90% done with his expansion there. So I don't think he's going to be expanding anytime, or not really expanding, but putting on any sort of pressure anytime soon there into Avalo's camp. Is what's going to give him a huge advantage.
Well, really, when after all said and done, even though Orb is ahead in supply at the moment, both players are pretty much about even. Avalo's command center was done much quicker, and he was able to churn out a few extra SCVs. But the chrono boost of the probes, allowed Orb to stay even. So 34 to 36 in terms of harvesters. Both of the expansions were done at just about the same time, and both players are kind of about where they need to be, right around Tier 2 or Tier 2.5 tech, with the Immortals and soon to be the Colossus at some point. But we see that Orb's wanting to change things up, is actually going to go. No, he actually did cancel that support base, so no Colossus going to be out. But he's getting the Stargate up as well, so looking to change things up and throw something at Avalo he may not expect.
Oh yeah, and with him scanning down right now, he knows pretty much exactly what his opponent has right there at the front, defending that expansion. And we see now that probe is going to start making its way just to the north there to put down the proxy pylon just there, kind of toward the center-ish area. That's going to be a good place if he needs the warping units to flank. Very, very good quick thinking right there to have those units readily available. We do see the Hellions being made with the blue flame going down. This could be absolutely devastating to Orb again, really, if Avalo could pull off the drops with those blue flame Hellions, because that's going to throw Orb off a lot. Any of those drops that Avalo did, all those nukes that he threw down, really just kind of fueled the fire of Orb's rage, so to speak,
right,
in that last matchup there.
Well, really, it's when you look at the composition here out of Orb, the Hellions are not a bad choice. I mean, at the moment, this small little army is a little zealot heavy. He's got 6 zealots in the mix, but Hellions not going to match up too well against the Mortals. The Mortals, of course, if you check the little tooltips, are the hard counter to sieged up tanks. And, Orb's playing pretty solid here. He's getting what he needs to get to make sure he's not going to fall prey to any shenanigans out of Avalo. And a lot of it's going to come down to control. You mentioned how effective Avalo can be when it comes to harassment. We've seen Avalo just excel at splitting his forces and hitting at multiple angles with multiple small little packs of units, trying to attack the back while assault the front. And, wouldn't surprise me a bit to see more of that. The Phoenix is out of Orb. A little bit of a bizarre choice, in my opinion. I mean, there's not a lot he's going to be able to do with him. He can lift the tanks, and that's important in its own right. But it just seems like that's a little bit of a, it's not like he's going to transition and really augment his force with Void Rays. And unless Avalo shows him Thors, it's just the Stargate's just a little bit of a weird choice.
Oh, yeah, we just see him right now. He is going to try to take out that far right-hand Zelnaga Tower, so we can try to make sure that we can see anything that's going to be inbound right now. We do see that drop is about ready to happen right now in the natural. all those blue flame Hellions coming down and completely starting to nuke that entire line as we see more and more of that.
He gets so many that last blast, and he's managed that. It was, he got a good bit with the initial harassment, but the last blast out of them really just annihilating.
17 workers in total have been killed by Avalo. Great job.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, if we go to the income tab, that's about a 10-worker difference at this moment. And Orb is actually just going to say, you know what, photon cannons, I don't want to deal with that again. And Avalo moving out, and this is his style. He says, hey, I'll harass you, make you pull your army back, and every time I do it, I'm going to move out with tanks, siege up, and dare you to push into me. And now the trademark missile turrets. And I love watching Avalo play and use this style. It reminds me so much of Brood War, where you would see these maps cut in half, literally between two Terrans, where it was nothing but tanks and Marines and missile turrets everywhere. It makes me so happy to watch.
Oh yeah, just unfriggin' believable right there. Just so many things, and of course that observer coming over and being able to take a full look at everything that's going on right now. So Orb can try to do something to reestablish his army value, but right now, once those tanks siege up, it's going to
there we go. The Hellion's going to be up there to tank this. There's no way Orb's going to come out ahead. The Phoenix is actually paying for themselves a little bit, lifting those tanks and making this come out a bit closer than it should have. But just the Hellion count, the supply count for Avalo, way too high, and now going to be able to push his opponent all the way back home. This is going to be our GG most certainly. If not now, when it does come, it's going to be that moment that determines it. And Avalo still trying to play patient. There's the BM command center. I love it. That's right, Orb. Sorry, buddy. The game ended right there in that last engagement. There's the GG. So Avalo going to advance, going 2-0 against Orm here at the IG LAN event #1, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Yeah, unbelievable, brutal finish there by Avalo. Great job by Orb, trying to hold in there as much as he could. Just crippling. The first game, he fell victim to all those nukes. The second matchup, he of course fell victim to the trademark Avalo, the trademark Avalo tank push, and it was just all over from there.
Oh yeah, Avalo. Once he gets that positioning in the middle of the map, there's not a whole lot of any opponent, no matter what their skill level, can do. And really, it doesn't. He plays one of those styles where it doesn't matter if you know it's coming or not. If you know Avalo, you watch him play, 9 times out of 10, he's going to use Hellion drops and Banshees to pull your army back out of the middle of the map. Then he's going to just move forward, leapfrog his tanks, build the missile turrets towards the middle of the map. And just try to control things that way. But even if you know it's coming, it's so hard to defend. And, can't wait to see who we've got up next. We're blazing through our bracket at this point. This is the IG LAN event #1, brought to you by itsgosu.com. I'm EC, that's Red Mage JR. And, of course, brought to you by our other sponsors, Red Bull and SteelSeries. It's so just amazing that we were able to bring them on for this event. Looking to partner with SteelSeries in a much bigger way moving forward. We'll have more information about that coming at you in the next couple of days. And, of course, brought to you by our normal sponsors as well, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground US, Max Integration, and Sanyamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Check them out at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So we got a packed house here, Red Mage. Tons of people hanging around watching the games. Thanks so much to them, and thanks so much to each and every person hanging out with us in the stream and the BattleNet chat.
Oh yeah, just absolute brutal. We want to thank everybody for coming out, and you know what I can't wait, in just a few weeks we're going to have E3. We're actually going to find out what exactly Bomb versus the Rubber Duckies is, because E3, Hypocrite Games has been touting for so long that they'll let us know what exactly it is, as soon as E3 rolls around. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And to everybody that's listening to us in the chat, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us, despite all of our little mishaps, here all,
well, in fairness, but not all of it was our fault. Lucky
That's
Fool
right.
managed to screw the pooch about as bad as anyone.
That's right.
We love Lucky. He knows we love him as well. So, but yeah, we're working. Getting ready to get our next game lined up. In fact, I'm trying to think, how can we get the brackets up here for you?
He wants to know if we can finish the back end, and that's what you're doing right there. He wants to know if we can have that. Yes, this is definitely Ronald Jenkins right there.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
actually I got to thank you for, because the other day we were in the car and you had me listen to Ronald Jenkins.
It's
and
good
for the
stuff,
last,
isn't it?
2 or 3 days, all I've been able to do is listen to Ronald Jenkins.
Seriously, go check him out.
That man is so gifted.
He is, and he's not what you expect at all. I mean, Literally, if you go to YouTube and put in Ronald Jinkies, what you're going to get is a bunch of videos of him, before he produced the songs and put them on an album or anything. But try to find one where he talks to the camera for about 30 or 60 seconds before things get started. If he does, in those, he's got like these thick Coke bottle glasses that are like 6 inches thick. To be honest, he looks like he's got Down syndrome or something, no lie. And, and he seems like, and you think it's going to be one of those joke videos where it's just him, basically being made fun of. And then he sits down at his keyboard with his beat maker and he blows your friggin' face off. So definitely check him out. Buy his album, Disorganized Fun. I absolutely love it. And make sure you check out all the other music. If you like any of the other tunes we got rocking, I'll pop that up for you. HaloTopic.newgrounds.com, MySpace.com/Indigo League, and, of course, the man of the hour, the man we're harping about, Ronald Jinkies at RonaldJinkies.com. So we're actually moving into the finals here of our winners bracket. The losers bracket still shaping up, and it's going to be Lucky Fool down in the bottom half of the semifinals, trying to play his way past someone we haven't determined quite yet, and to take on VT Avalo in the finals. So we're going to be bringing you a match just as soon as we can. We're down here live at Cyberground in Fairfax, Virginia. So if you're in the Fairfax area, you happen to be in driving distance, make sure you come out, say hi to Red Mage and myself. We've got some free Red Bull and stuff to give out to you. Not to mention, Cyberground's awesome anyway. Check them out at cyberground.us. You're talking $10 to show up. You can show up here at like 8 I think they're open. I think Cyberground opens at noon. Show up at Cyberground, pay $10, and you get to play from noon until 5 in the morning if it so pleases you. All the games you can possibly hope to play. The resurgence of the LAN Center in North America is alive and well here at Cyberground.
So just over here. Sorry. There we go. Sorry about that, AC.
No problem. Yeah, Carpola, and finally getting a chance to look at the stream chat for the first time in a while. Say, hello, YouTubes! Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was funny when it was, hello, YouTubes! Again with the YouTubes.
And what's weird is he hasn't really done anything since he made those videos. They got super popular. Then he put out Disorganized Fun. He put out another album as well. But since then, he's kind of disappeared. I'm hoping... A guy with that much talent, I just hope beyond hope, that he's getting paid big bucks to sit in some recording studio with some rapper. Doesn't even get his name on the album. But I hope beyond hope that he's actually getting some good work and making some good money doing it. So, moving in, trying to find our next match, getting that set up right now. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. This is the It's Gosu.com IG LAN event number 1. Make sure you check out It's Gosu.com, by the way. I'll go ahead and pop up our calendar for those that aren't familiar with us. We got 20 events a month, $2,500 in cash and prizes being given out just between April and June. We're going to bounce back with more events and more money and more prizes given away during our summer series. And so, always keep an eye on that. We've got tons of events up that you can sign up for already, and we update those, almost every day. We've got a new event that's coming up in a week that you can sign up for, and really, really want to get everyone involved and part of the IG family, so to speak. So.
I like that thing. So all right, we need to get the game so we can.
Oh, my bad. Didn't know you guys were waiting on me. Gotta let me know these things.
Sorry about that. We were having such a great time talking about some Ronald Jinkies and having a good old time. So, so we'll be doing this, pretty all right, so we're going to go right there for Cryptic, and Statistics is ready to go. So we'll be hopping in here. Once you set up the match here, we'll be on NLG Shatter Temple taking on Statistics and Cryptic. Here in our losers bracket. I forget where they are in the losers bracket there. I think they're actually about halfway through. So
sounds like your audio's chopping a bit there, Red Mage.
Choppy again? That's crazy.
And give it just a second. It'll usually catches up and calms down. So this is what you get, by the way. With a lot of these stream issues, I'm just going to say, we're at a friggin' LAN center with friggin' tons of people here all playing games. Only so much bandwidth to go around, man. So hopefully everybody's having a good time. I know I am. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. We're moving in. This is going to be a great game. So moving into losers bracket play now. And, it's really going to – I really hope we get a chance to cast the winners bracket. And these are two guys that right now, though, in the losers bracket that we're going to see. Cryptic and Sadistics, a guy that no one corrected me when I called him Saddest Texas or Saddest TX the entire last event.
Saddest Texas. I'd like Saddest Texas. Yes. Saddest Texas.
I mean, who looks at that and goes, yeah, that's Sadistics. That makes sense. That's exactly what – yeah.
Yes, Sadistics.
It's just instinctive. Nobody does that, all right?
Oh yeah, and for someone was saying in the chat that they were going to wait to be good enough to come in and play in the LAN events. You don't have to be good to come in and play in the LAN events. I am a perfect example of that. You know, me and Vinos, and I'm not saying Vinos isn't great, but Vinos and I, we kind of sat at the kids table last week at the LAN event because he and I were the only two not Masters League guys to play in the event, and he and I kind of played my first LAN event ever, so.
Yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of a hiccup there in the band with everything slowed down. Looks like everything's back to running normal, but... Cool. But yeah, you know, it's funny whenever you say you sat at the kids' table. I can't help but think of, like, you know, Lucky Fool coming over to cut your meat for you, getting your milk in the sippy cup. It's like, oh yes, build an SCV. That's what we need to do. It's okay, Red Beige. It's okay.
That's right. And for those of you who wonder where Revolution is, he is actually in the middle of a battle right now, a battle royale. He's trying to fight into the finals bracket. He's actually going to take on Lucky Fool once that finishes up.
If he wins.
Yeah, if he wins between NRG Eve. So if Eve wins, Eve's going to take on his teammate Lucky Fool, and otherwise we'll see our good buddy Illusion. Take on Lucky Fool, and that could be a brutal matchup because whoever wins that is going to take on Avalo, and we all know what happens when Avalo takes on Lucky Fool.
Oh yeah, so Cryptic throwing down, doing the gas steal here, and going to try and set Sadistics back a little bit, and what he's going to want to do so far as getting out any kind of early Marauder pressure. You know, always a good move if you're planning to arc towards that mid game as opposed to favoring the early game, sort of an aggression or trying to deal with anything like that. So. We got the cross spawns here. You know, Shattered Tipple is one of those weird maps where it's, you know, at least in my opinion, you just don't see a lot of quote-unquote interesting play on Shattered Tipple. You see very standard stuff in almost every game, you know, drops, siege expansions, 4 warp gates, etc., etc., etc. But more and more, it seems like players are beginning to get a grasp on the nuance that this map presents. The the little things that you could do, the little maneuvers you can do to try and abuse some tactics or just gain small advantages. And it's one of the fun things about StarCraft being so young. You know, not even a year old. Every day and at all levels of play. You know, it's not like you got to be a Masters level player to really begin to get a grasp of this game. You know, you can be a bronze level guy and have an insight that maybe a lot of top tier players haven't quite gained yet, just because you happen to play a lot.
Well, you can see, you know, Cryptic did manage to take out that gas steal and everything going on there, and you know, those Marauders trying to do what they can to try to eliminate it now, because you know, perhaps I was getting ready to call him Sad as Texas again. Sadistics maybe trying to go for some sort of a textile build. You know, he's got down the two barracks right now. He's throwing down a reactor on the other one, and you know, right now he's just trying to keep up with.
Well, it looks like he just wants to try and deny an expansion, throwing that bunker down here, and this is a pretty good reaction to a gas steal. I mean, if your opponent's is gonna throw down that extra assimilator and allow it to complete in your base, about the only option he has is to either, you know, completely 4 warp gate rush you, which doesn't make a lot of sense to gas steal in that situation anyway, or you know, to try and expand. It looks like that's exactly what Cryptic was gonna try to do. He's got just enough here with that Sentry and 2 Stalkers. Not quite the Marauder count he needs. That bunker completes though. So he may be able to pick off 1 or 2 units. The Zealots are definitely going to go down, but this bunker's not going to hold up too terribly much longer. He needs to pull that Sentry back. There we go. Get him out of the way. And now looks like Cryptic's going to be able to chase this away quite easy. And I'd say Cryptic's actually in a considerable little lead at the moment.
Little hiccup there, but yeah, we see that's going to let Cryptic go ahead and take on that natural right there, as we see that the you know, Sadistics is going to go ahead and throw it on his command center now too, and double bunker right in there for a good little expansion bit now. And Cryptic moving out to the center of the map now, taking control of the Zonaga Tower, seeing that there's nothing really immediately around. Just needs to, you know, he's going to go ahead and push in, see what he can see.
Well, he's going to push in right here, and if he doesn't look like he's going to get in there before the bunker is finished. May be able to pick off a couple of SCVs, though. Marauders jump in. That's going to be turned away pretty quickly. So Cryptic just poking and prodding, trying to see exactly where his opponent is and what style he's going to try to do if he was going to try and one-base him a little bit longer. The Nexus a little over halfway done now for Cryptic. And Sadistics his command center does complete and immediately taking it to the orbital command. So Cryptic, again, it seems like by a very small margin, I'd say he's a little bit ahead, but still a lot of game to be played here. And, and pretty good play out of both of them. I really like the move there by Cryptic to go ahead and say, I know you're going to want to favor Marauders because it's a TVP, so I'm going to steal your gas early, make sure you can't put on too much pressure that's Marauder heavy. Then I'm just going to expand behind it and rely on sentries and good control to keep me safe. So great job there by Cryptic.
Oh yeah, with Cryptic just kind of leaving that probe there having control of the Zonaga tower is really going to give him a huge advantage. He's going to be able to see that little army of Sadistics when it starts rolling out a little bit, and he'll be able to kind of move his units or either around it or flank it or do something other than go directly into the immediate path of all those Marauders that are right now. Stem's going down right now, and the +1. We do see that the Ghost Academy is coming in. I don't know if he was able to watch the Avalo matchup the last time where it was just a ton of nukes and EMPs just showing off.
Oh, you mean the Holocaust, the IG Holocaust? Yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable.
Oh yeah, and now we know where Crevasse came from. Crevasse is just any other map after what Avalo laid down on Orb.
Yeah, it's kind of like what else are you going to do in that situation if you're just dropping nuke after nuke? There's very few things that you can do other than try to find.
Seriously, folks, if you're listening to us live, you need to go back and watch the VOD of that map. It was that matchup. That was game 1 of Avalo versus Orb earlier on. Literally, at least 20 nukes went down. At least 20 went down in that game. So if you're a fan of the nuke play, you definitely want to check that out. That was actually a game that had the crowd here at cyberground.us. Check them out online again, by the way. We're down here, and if you're in the Fairfax area, come say hi. But it had the crowd here at Cyberground literally on their feet, laughing, cheering, clapping, and all that fun stuff. So always fun to see that. A little bit of chug there, but now things are caught up. So Sadistic's going to sacrifice the Lone Marine, the guy who just didn't have anything left for life, going to run in. Take a look at what's going on. Sadistics looks like he's maybe gearing up to try and move out. He's salvaged the bunkers, maybe looking to put on a little pressure. Cryptic, though, looks very safe. He doesn't look like he's going to be broken at any point in the near future. And, out of both players, just very, very stable standard stuff. Both of them wanting to just rely on their own macro capabilities. Not going to try to do anything risky. Don't want to take that chance in terms of losing the game due to one bad drop or to one bad choice as far as when to push a ramp. So actually both players are going to move out at the same time. Cryptic going to turn away, seeing that Sadistics is going to get to the Zelnaga Tower first. So we may have our first major engagement of the matchup here soon, Red Mage.
Yeah, it's almost like, you just saw him just race toward the center right there. We see a ton of SCVs to soak up damage there, and we just see Guardian shields going down right now.
Good little shield or force field usage there. That's one good EMP, though. EMP going to force Cryptic back the way he used those force fields to push Sadistics back. Another decent EMP. Caught a couple of units there. Now, it looks like Cryptic's trying to regroup himself using the Guardian shields, but now the stem's going to go off, so here goes the engagement. Needs to get some of those units up towards the front. The Ghost doing great damage to the sentries due to them being the light units in the pack here. Now a little bit of stutter step micro trying to pull him back and kite those zealots. Some snipes going off, and looks like Cryptic's gonna hold on here, but it's not gonna be without cost. So continuing to push, and Cryptic maybe costing himself a little bit running back this far. He's going to have to pull probes or do something. He's really given Sadistics way too much control so far as being outside of his natural. Sadistics continuing to push now, and now just the Marauder count going to be more than enough to deal with these Stalkers, and really Cryptic in a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, this is going to be absolutely brutal here as he completely has wasted all the probes that were in that natural. There's a few probes coming out right now, and there's nowhere for them to go really, because you don't want to start trying to mine or try to move them somewhere else, because he hasn't removed the destructible rocks further south to take that natural third. And more and more of these units start pouring in from Statistics. Cryptic is not going to be able to do much of anything. And that's going to be.
Well, he's going
to that Colossus. That's about it.
Yeah, that Colossus is really going to be his only saving grace. But this is a high Marauder count, and Colossus does decent damage to all units. Maybe a bit of an overstim there. Don't like that out of Statistics. Really stem those Marauders once too many times. So looks like, wow, he actually didn't take down the Nexus either. That's kind of surprising in its own right. So Cryptic really losing a lot there, but definitely still in the game. A little bit behind, but not nearly as behind as it seemed like he was going to be.
Yeah, that was kind of kind of a bad strategy, so to speak, because he didn't even finish. He did take down the one pylon, but there's still another pylon that's existing barely, and he didn't take down that Nexus. You know, he should have just target fired down the Nexus, because that would have been a major win right there for Sadistics.
Right, he did pull all of his units and just stop firing at the Nexus, which makes zero sense, because look how much damage he had done to it. He had it down to about half life. The shields were completely gone. So a little bit of a misstep there by Sadistics. Maybe getting a little bit too greedy. Thought he was in a better position than he was.
Oh, yeah, and, you know, we see that Cryptic right now trying to assemble a small little force right now by this Omega Tower. That Observer is going to get a quick look at it, so he does know when it's coming. But, you know, what's he really going to... He's got a bunch of sentries and a couple of stalkers and a zealot along with that Colossus.
He has nothing really to tank any of this damage that's coming in. I mean, he's really going to have to use great force fields. I'm just going to see the zealot kite it. He's got to get something in there to tank the damage. Going to catch one Marauder and one Marine. And Sadistics, really, if he just hangs back, you know, he can't. He's got a timing window here that if he can hit it, he's going to be fine. But, you know, right now, wow, more sentries here out of Cryptic. That's kind of surprising to me. Sentries essential in dealing with high Marauder or high Marine numbers. But he has, again, nothing to tank Marauder damage, nothing to stand between that Colossus and all of the damage that's going to be thrown at it. So beginning to take down these destructible rocks, and Sadistics actually pulling all the way back home. So looks like we're going to make it to the late mid-game.
Yeah, you know, both players taking down the destructible rocks, trying to make that third base a viability. I mean, honestly, Sadistics really doesn't need to do too much to really, you know, throw off Cryptic right now, because he's gone in, you know, mutilated most of his force. He's down to really just sentries and a Colossus and a couple of stalkers and zealots. There's not an army per se. There's like it's like a rebel force trying to take out the Death Star. You know, they've got to find that one port and try to take out.
This is what you call kind of like a little gimmick army. Basically, it can do one thing well. It can cut forces in half. He's got a few stalkers and zealots there to tank a little bit of the damage, but not nearly enough as he should have with two Colossus on the field. But, you know, with those sentries, if he uses the force field just right, he can deal with a lot of things that he shouldn't be able to deal with otherwise. So one little stray Reaper going to run in and get a look. I mean, he's not going to see anything he wouldn't have suspected. It maybe get an exact count on the warp gates, but that's no big deal. But both players very, very even now. So we're well past the 18-minute mark. We're probably going to see third bases go down from both players sometime in the near future. We see they've already cleared the rocks out. So, yeah, I mean, just kind of a stalemate, a standoff at this point. And really, you know, in the back of Sadistics' mind, he's got to be kicking himself a little. He had a chance to arc into a gigantic lead if he had just been able to take down that expansion Nexus. Instead, got a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, just a smidge too greedy there. But, you know, we see that right now Cryptic is kind of moving himself out just a little bit, trying to get a little bit more of that center map control right now, taking control of the Omega Tower briefly and then going back. There's no... He's I don't know why he's not trying to take any sort of map control whatsoever on everything. This is just kind of... odd.
That force of his is still kind of thin. That's kind of the issue. You know, it's great to have a lot of sentries, but to have this many sentries and this few stalkers there to deal with anything. But at the same time, Sadistics is a little thin himself, so it looks like we're going to have an engagement. Cryptic decides to push, and those those stalkers were a little bit out. Great EMP lands right in the heart of the Colossus and all of the stalkers. An amazing force field spread here, cutting a lot of these units off, but the majority of Cryptic's forces just melted, and there it is, the GG. So Sadistics manages to take the win a little bit later than he probably should have, but either way, he's ahead 1-0 here at our IG LAN event number 1, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Certainly. So you go to itsgosu.com to see all the upcoming events that we have. 5 to 6 tournaments a week. We're only adding them on from there. Of course, you know, we're here. This is actually our first LAN event ever, so this is going to be pretty exciting here. We want to thank everybody for joining. We want to thank Tor and Hire, and we want to thank Mr. Minimi for helping us out here, taking care of all, you know, setting us up with matches and things like that, and really letting us know what's going on. So it's we couldn't have done it without him. We definitely appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat with us, chatting as much as we can. You know, but with audio issues and things like that, and because it is a LAN, we're having to just kind of stretch and do kind of weird things. So it's a little bit hard for me to get to the keyboard.
Yes, we're kind of running things here all by ourselves. Thanks so much, by the way, to all of you hanging out with us. If you like what you see, if you like what we're trying to do here, please hit that follow button on Justin TV. Hit like, hit follow, hit tweet. All that does is guarantee that we have more money from our sponsors to get out to you guys. And our sponsors, by the way, want to take time to thank them as well. Red Bull, SteelSeries, and of course our normal round of sponsors. Hypocrite Games, cyberground.us, that's where we are, so check that out online, and if you're in the area, please stop by and see us. Red Mage and I would love to show you just how laughable we really are in the flesh, as well as San Yamabushi Jujutsu and combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Those guys have allowed us to begin giving away about, how much would you say, like $1,000 worth of Magic cards? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
Huge profit, and that's just fair market value. That's not even including with
right. That's like wholesale. That's like wholesale price. So we got a packed house here down at Cyberground. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. It's a pleasure to have you here. Make sure you hit the like, the tweet, and the follow. Please, please, please. Not for our egos, but for our sponsors' egos. They love to see those numbers crawl higher. And the higher those numbers go, the higher our prize pools go. So jumping right back into Game 2 here. And really, Statistics, he was able to secure the win there. But again, I think it came a little bit later than it probably should have. Either way, we're going to be moving into Shakura's Plateau, Statistics spawning at the top left position, and Cryptic going to be spawning in the green down at the bottom right. So, Cryptic really, he just tried to get a little bit too cute, I think. It seemed like he went a little too quickly up to Colossus Tech, and it cost him. The Colossus able to hold off that that mid-game push that almost cost him his Nexus when Statistics really should have taken the win. But eventually the Marauder numbers just proving to be quite a bit too much for his opponent to deal with. And in this position, I mean, if you're Statistics, you got to be thinking, it's like, okay, things really kind of went screwy for me that last match. I had my gas stolen, and I still tried to force the Marine Marauder pressure. I really should have closed it out in the mid-game, and it didn't go well. But why would you do anything different at this point? Your opponent has already shown you that it's like, okay, if I make a mistake, I can still win, and not just win, but he won pretty handily by the time we hit that mid-game.
Oh yeah, with everything that he not really what did wrong, but that just didn't go right for Cryptic. I think this time he's got to try to figure out a way to kind of recenter his mind. As everybody likes to say inside, is that he just needs to recenter his mind. Really get back into the game a little bit.
Right.
And stop. I think he's got to try to stop overthinking the game and just play. A lot of times players just need to do that. I know that happens to me all the time. I'll try to think about what I need to do, and if I just stop, forget what I'm doing, and then just play the game,
right,
you'll usually come out on top. And I think that Cryptic really is one of those kind of players that just needs to stop thinking about what he's doing, trying to overthink about what Statistics is doing, and just get in there and go for it.
Yeah, try to it's one of the, and you're exactly right. I think every player goes through that at some point. You think yourself into a corner. You second guess everything you do. You lose your confidence level, and just feeling scared, feeling like your opponent's always got the upper hand. That it slows down your reaction time because you're trying to process too much and how you want to react to what you see, and it just makes you play a very passive kind of a game. And aggression almost always beats passivity in a game like StarCraft 2. So Statistics gonna get that expansion up mighty quick, going off of 1 barracks. And in the meantime, Cryptic just not rushing for any kind of an expansion. He's got the probe down there, so he's thinking about it. Yeah, we're probably going to see that come down here in just a minute, actually. Inching near that 400 mark, just hit 400, and there it goes. So, going to see wow, I have no idea what Statistics saw, or maybe that was just his whole plan. He cancels the command center and now is going immediately up to 2 refineries and another barracks. So I'm going to guess he was waiting for his opponent to scout it, or hoping that his opponent would scout it. He didn't have anything to scout Cryptic throwing down that Nexus. He had no way to know that. So maybe that was just his plan all along, to go ahead and fake it, and if the opponent sees it, great. If not, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, and this is kind of a dangerous thing, is because you don't know when your opponent's going to scout it, and since he doesn't have a forge down, it's not like he's going to be able to overly defend this Nexus until it builds. He's throwing on a couple more gateways and things like that, so he's going to have some gateway units, but at the same time, I don't think he really had a good look at what Statistics had in his base. I mean, we see it because he's only got the 2 barracks, but
right,
he could have 3 or 4 barracks by this time, because he was up at 400, 500 minerals right now. We just seen that he is throwing down that factory. He could go for the early Hellions. He could do something to really agitate Cryptic at this point because of that early Nexus. But I think he's going to be able to get that up and running really before Statistics has the chance to make it on it. It will hurt.
Well, if I had to guess, really, it's, we see the 2 barracks, both the barracks are naked. He's got the gas to throw down the tech labs of the reactors if he wants them. He hasn't done that yet. Continuing to churn out the Marines. The factory's on the way. I'm going to go ahead and predict. I think he's going to throw down a starport and go up to Banshees and try and abuse the fact. It's like, okay, I know my opponent fast expanded. I know he's going to have to try and make a lot of units. to try and defend this very wide ramp. 1-2 sentry is not going to be enough when you have a ramp this wide. So I think he's going to try and beat his opponent to Observer Tech. He's just going to try to get the Banshees out in time to deal with this. And now we see a small push here by Cryptic. Not going to lose one Stalker. One Stalker comes very, very close to losing his life, but managed to pull him back. But, I think he's, we see two starports on the way now. So, we're going to see some Marines used to defend. And he's going to go 2 starport. He's going to throw down the Tech Labs with almost certainty. He's getting a Hellion out as well. But it looks like he just wants to hit his opponent with one of those funny little, maybe even a Raven Banshee timing push where he used the point defense drone to just completely and utterly nullify any sort of Stalker play.
Oh yeah, and that's gonna be. You're absolutely right about that, AC. It's gonna be just one of those situations that you're gonna have, and really with what these guys can do on such a large map like Securis, you can. Sorry, bad cough. But you can. It's gonna be really hard for him to find a little stepping stone, so to speak, in what he's got to do.
Right. Well, we see he's getting one Banshee out. No Cloak's going to be on the way, so he's not going to be trying to use any kind of a crazy, hopefully, one of those crazy builds where you just hope that you beat your opponent to Observers, or, that you beat your opponent to Cloak before he gets Observers. We've got the Raven on the way, so and I think this is going to be, again, you and I have seen it. It's not rare, per se. It's not something you see all that often. I mean, it's not rare as in, oh, wow, this is only the 3rd time we've seen it. But, you can watch 20 matches a day and maybe see it one time, where you just put together this timing push that's kind of a kitchen sink sort of a build, where it's Banshees, Hellions, Marines, maybe some Marauders if you feel real frisky and you've got the extra gash, maybe you throw some tanks in. This one base push, and it really all revolves around the point defense drone, because your opponent's going to have some sentries and some stalkers. He's not going to have a ton of zealots, and if you can nullify the Stalkers with a point defense drone, he really's in a lot of trouble. I mean, the Stalkers aren't able to shoot, and when Stalkers make up the bulk of your army, and that's exactly the case now. We looked at Cryptic. He's got 8 Stalkers, 3 sentries, and 3 zealots. So what's he going to do if he loses the ability for all of these Stalkers to shoot?
Oh yeah, I'm going to stop calling it a kitchen sink build. I'm just going to call it the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen build, because they just have something for everybody. And we see that Observer does see everything that's coming in, but that Raven giving him perfect vision, and they blow it out right now. You see the Stalkers holding back what they can.
Well, he's dancing back and forth there at the bottom of the ramp, waiting on that PDD energy without a doubt. That's really going to be his cue to go. So just now going to hit that 100 energy, just as he's joined by those, and now here he goes. He's going to scan and now push up. Good force fields, cuts off a few units. That's kind of a wasted point defense drone. So great defense here by Cryptic, even locking in more of those Marines. So great job here by Cryptic, and really, Sadistics looks like he's actually going to be able to push in. So wow, that was some great force field usage, but the Banshee's just a bit too much, and this is the danger when you try to go for a fast expand. The counter to any fast expand is a one base push. It's very all in, and if Sadistics doesn't make this work, or at least get in and do a lot more damage than it's done already, he's pretty much going to be completely and utterly out of this game. But if you see your opponent fast expand and you just choose to put together a very strong one base timing push, you wind up with a situation like this where Cryptic did a great job defending it, but he just didn't have the personnel to deal with it.
Oh yeah, just more and more of these units from Statistics just pouring in right now. He's got a couple of Banshees. He really just, he's got to push right into the main base right now. He should have left at least 1 or 2 Marines back there just to kind of take out that extra pylon there. He could have easily tried to supply block him. And then right now with those Banshees just absolutely going to town on those Stalkers, it's pretty amazing right here. And that's going to force the GG there by Cryptic.
All right, so Cryptic, valiant defenses both times, but Sadistic's going to advance here in the losers bracket of our IG LAN event number 1, brought to you by itsgosu.com. All right, guys, once again, I'm AC. That's Red Mage JR. We're down here at Cyberground in Fairfax, Virginia. If you're in the area, come say hi to us. This is the IG LAN event number 1, brought to you by itsgosu.com, Red Bull and Steel Series, and, of course, by the rest of our advertisers. Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanya Mabushi Jujutsu in combination, Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Check them out at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So do we have any lead on what our next game's going to be, my friend?
Looks like we're actually watching Lucky Fool take on Revolution.
Oh, wow.
Which is going to be a great matchup because we've loved these guys for a really long time, and last week Rev out of nowhere comes out and beat Lucky Fool for the championship for the last matchup.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is going to be a very, very interesting play here because not only whoever wins this match is of course going to take on Avalo in the next round. So
right.
This is the catch-all match because neither one of these players really wants to play Avalo.
Right. Exactly.
That's the thing, because for most of the time the Lucky Fool has a chance to play.
Right.
Avalo, he loses. Rev, everybody last week was like, well, the only, really the biggest reason why Illusion was able to pull out the win was because Avalo wasn't here. So, we'll have to see who wants it more. Who wants to take on Avalo?
Rev really has taken his game to the next level, going to be competing in MLG along with Avalo, along with Lucky Fool. And, he really it was kind of his coming out party last week. He came out and he didn't just win. He won convincingly in almost all of his matchups. He's just and he's so young, just a young guy, 15 years old, and he plays so strong, able to beat players that have got 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10 years on him that are at that professional level as well. So I'm really looking forward to see Revolution take on Lucky Fool here at the IG LAN event #1. By the way, if you're digging the tunes, I know there's some folks in the stream that are liking what they're hearing. Check them out at halotopic.newgrounds.com, myspace.com/Indigo League, and Ronald Jinkies at ronaldjinkies.com. Ronald Jinkies, the guy you're hearing in the background right now, going to pot him down, though, and bring you right into this match. And, really, this you have to say, it's not to take anything away from the rest of the competitors in the field, but this is what you call a marquee matchup. This is a championship caliber. Like, this is a matchup here that would have been worthy to be the grand final of our event.
Oh yeah, with both of these players as awesome as they are, this I think is going to be just an all-out slugfest. This is going to be like if you put Jet Li and Jackie Chan, and then the guy from Anbach, because I can't remember his name.
Beat Takeshi. Can we put him in there?
Yeah, and we just have those four guys just rumble in the jungle right there. It's going to look like that fight from Anchorman when all the anchors show up.
I hate that movie so bad.
One guy gets hit with the trident. It's going to be great.
I seriously, I hate that movie so much. You got to bring up the terrible movie Anchorman. So anyway, Revolution spawning at the top right. We're going to have Lucky Fool spawning at the bottom left. A TVT action, and really both of these players, Lucky Fool in particular. We saw a good amount of Revolution's TVT, but Lucky Fool really has one of the strongest TVTs in the business. And, he loves the Hellions, loves the favor, just like Avalo, loves the favor, that early pressure. And, just an amazing player in his own right. So can't wait to see how this is going to pan out. And so much room for both of these players to stretch out and stretch their legs, so to speak, expand if they want. But, again, out of both players, be it Lucky Fool or Revolution, both guys really have never, they're not one to shy away from just going, okay, I think I can win now, so I'm going to pull every SCV and go try to win.
Oh, yeah, right now we see that Lucky is going to go out for that good scout. He's going right to the cross positions. And, of course, as soon as I say he's going to go right to the cross positions, he does it. He's going to go for the near positions. And I think pretty much on Tal'Darim, I think it's always cross positions, right, with the MLG version of the map?
What, on Tal'Darim? No, it's not always cross positions.
Oh, so you can't have that? Okay. Because, on a map like this, I would usually try to check, cross positions, so...
Nah, the only real difference between the MLG version and the latter version of Tal'Darim Altar is the rocks at that third expansion. Actually, not that one, this one. So, anyway, Revolution continuing to just do his thing. He's on one barracks right now, and it looks like both players are actually saving up for a command center. So we're going to see not a lot of early aggression. Looks like we're going to have a very macro-oriented game. Revolution has got that SCV there, and Lucky Fool delaying building that command center before until Revolution's SCV bites the dust, and now Revolution taking his command center as well. So right now, kind of a borderline mirror match. Both players looking exactly the same. Even if you look up at the production queue, looks like Lucky Fool a little bit behind on the command center, a little bit behind on the refinery, a little bit ahead in the SCV count, and the Marines continuing the churn. So, and these guys are, they live very close together. They're always here at Cyberground hanging out with each other. They know how to play against each other. They're practice partners, all that fun stuff. So, you can expect in this series to see a lot of this kind of thing where both players really going up the tech tree in exactly the same way.
Oh yeah, and with what little stuff that they have out right now, it's only going to lead more into a heavier hitting mid quite possibly a late game with both of these guys. And Lucky Fool doing what he normally does. He likes to stack, and usually I'm kind of surprised that he has those Marines so close together, because he usually spreads them out pretty big into like a nice big line. And the same thing there for Illusion. He's got those units just stretched across.
But isn't that funny? I mean, look at it. Even the way they're trying to guard the choke is identical. I mean, yeah, it's like Revolution's a little more sloppy about it, sure, but I mean, just the idea, it just kind of makes you smile. These guys practice so much together, play so much together, that they really do play in a somewhat identical manner. We're beginning to see a little bit of a change here, though. The factory going down for Revolution, while NRG Lucky Fool getting 2 barracks and that stem. So it looks like we're going to have a little factory tech, maybe some tank action against the favored, probably more bio-oriented play here out of Lucky Fool. Lucky Fool getting the 2 reactors immediately, so going to be a lot of heavy Marine action out of Lucky.
So we see Illusion is going to go for that bunker. So he's going to go for the early defense, because he's got to be aware that Lucky Fool is going to try to win him out with some sort of very early aggression, possibly those Hellions and things like that. I haven't seen him throw down an engineering bay, but that would be an obvious choice in my book. If I knew I was taking on Lucky Fool, that those drops are going to be coming in. He doesn't have any sort of vision down here on that one cliffed corner of the map. That way, because with Lucky Fool, you got to be really paranoid. You got to be as paranoid as having a Protoss probe in your base. You got to be looking at absolutely everything, absolutely every angle of attack. And
well, the Banshee's on the way now for Revolution, and Revolution, honestly, in a lot of his play, he tends to favor bio. So maybe this is a little bit of head game stuff. Like we were talking about, these two guys know each other not just from playing each other on the ladder, but very close in person. So Revolution breaking the mold a bit, going with some Banshee and some Hellion play when normally he favors bio, and kind of the same thing out of Lucky Fool, doing something a little unorthodox for him. Just very, very Marine heavy. Looks like he's getting a starport now, so probably going to see the medevacs out of that, though he does have a tech lab down on that factory now. We'll see if he begins to churn out of it, or if he's just going to switch the starport in that factory around. But it's fun to see these players kind of stealing each other's style just to try and mess with the other's head.
Oh yeah, and we see that he's really just on that total bio kick right there, just like you're saying. But there's Lucky Fool throwing down those missile turrets. He's got to know something's up, because I guarantee you I didn't see the scan, but I guarantee you just scanned in, saw that there's a starport there with a tech lab. You've got to immediately assume that your opponent is going to go for those Banshees, and we see that. Lucky Fool is going to start rolling out with those tanks, and that is going to be a very deadly thing for him to possess.
Oh yeah, so here comes the Banshee from Revolution, going to be turned away quite quickly. Good number of Marines there to chase it away, as well as a missile turret hanging out here in the mineral patch. So, going to continue to kite around and just try to be annoying using some of that spare APM. These are 2 pretty high APM players, to be honest. If I'm not mistaken, Revolution actually is Korean, so it's maybe a little bit of the bloodline coming out. Now Cloak's the Banshee, so the Cloak research not going to be a complete waste. Looks like he may be able to pick off a handful of more Marines. There goes the scan. Now the Viking and the Marine's going to stem afterwards. Really got to be careful. Down in the red, just 34 hit points. Now just going to run back home and probably go repair. So I'd call that a pretty successful harassment. Almost paid for the cost of the Cloak.
Oh yeah, you didn't really that one killed off about 4 different things. So that was great. Most of those were SCVs. So he did significant economic damage. We just see that that poor medevac. My girlfriend of the next century right there is having to
Banshee chicks hotter. Banshee chicks hotter.
I'm telling you that
she just is, man.
She's gorgeous, man, and she's a healer. You can't go wrong.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, if it was a choice, I'd go with the Banshee chick. I mean, come on, the Banshee chick's just hotter. She just is.
Tell you, we should take another poll, because you're just going to lose again, and you're just going to be upset. And I don't know why Illusion tried to pop the Cloak so early. You really could have held out. Well, now it works out, because he's going to be able to catch Lucky's army off balance. He's going to try to snipe down that tank as quickly as possible. And there goes the scan right there. He tried to get that tank down quick, but it went down to 72 hits. But now we see that the other Banshee.
Oh yes, he does pick off the tank
just in time.
And that's honestly pretty huge. I mean, just given the composition Revolution has here, that one extra tank can really make a difference. So he's going to stem and move in. Not going to be nearly the reaction time out of Revolution he needed to try and defend this. Moving in, and again, the combat shield and the stem paying off here. One Banshee going to be scanned and sniped down quite quickly. And I don't think that Revolution has what he's going to need to try and defend this. The personnel just isn't there. He pulls the SCVs, losing a ton of the SCVs. That last Banshee moves in, and it looks like he's going to clean this up. So, but the damage there is done. He managed to take out a ton of the workers. In Revolution, he lost a good bit there. He managed to hold off, the onslaught at least for a moment. But I'd say at this point, Lucky Fool is actually in a decent little lead. He's actually going to start his third command center, so he's going to try and get the economic lead off of that, what I would call moderately successful attack. And Revolution's ahead in supply at the moment, but I'd say that's almost entirely off of workers.
Oh yeah, right now we see that those Vikings coming back around, picking up that one tank, making sure that it makes it home on time. But we see an offensive sensor tower going down right now on the lower right hand side. That's going to give Lucky Fool a huge look to make sure that there's no drops coming in to really harass this third expansion that he's getting ready to take here. Did something very, very cool and went ahead and built it right there above the ramp. Not only is that ballsy, but he's just kind of. He doesn't want to get it scanned. He doesn't want to get it seen too early. But at the same time, if Illusion was to push up, he'd see it instantaneously, and it would be pretty easy for him to take it out.
Oh, yeah, the sensor tower, you mean?
Or no, I meant the command center. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was going to say sensor tower shows up on the minimap.
The sensor tower pops up everywhere. Yeah, that's one of those weird things that as soon as you have it, he knows you have it because it pops up on the mini map.
Right, and that's actually a decent little fake out move in its own right. It's gonna force Revolution to consider that attack path in a way he wouldn't have otherwise if he decides to push out. Revolution still quite far ahead. The tanks do not have siege mode. So it looks like Lucky Fool's going to stem and just run in. He's got siege on his tanks. If he throws down the siege, looks like he's actually going to opt to leave them unsieged and just rely on the normal DPS. And Revolution, once again, being pushed all the way back into his base. The SCV's having to be pulled off to try and deal with this. Now the tank's going to siege up for Lucky Fool. Revolution, though, sieging his own Marines, moving them in, and he's going to clean that up. But look at all the dead SCVs laying on the ground here.
Yeah, so much. And, Illusion, I don't know what he's doing, but he's falling way behind in producing. He's up at 1,200 minerals right now. And when you're fighting somebody like Lucky Fool, you do not want to have that many minerals.
Well, here's what's bizarre, though. He's ahead of Lucky Fool in supply considerably, like 30 supply ahead, and he's actually ahead in harvesters. How is that possible, given that he has 1,200 minerals sitting in the bank?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Now he's running short of gas, so that would say that he can't tech up because he doesn't have the gas. But why doesn't he have the gas? He's got four reactor. He's got 4 reactor barracks, so I'd say that's a big part of. We're going to see those minerals spike up occasionally, then spike right back down. And now all of a sudden we see Revolution deciding to push out, and he looks pretty scary. He's got the +2 to the attack and +1 on his infantry. He's got a couple of tanks. Siege mode's just completed. A couple of medevacs, and even though Lucky Fool seemed to be in the lead, or at least was punishing Revolution, in fact, Revolution lost an absolute ton of SCVs. It doesn't seem to matter. He's got a very scary force, and he's going to be able to really take map control here. Lucky Fool, though, has got his own little force skirting around the outside. It's going to come down to control, as now we're going to see the siege tank siege up, and Lucky Fool's kind of established that as his high water mark. That's as far as Revolution's going to go. Oh yeah, and we see more and more of these units are starting to assemble right now, just outside of Lucky. I was getting ready to say NRG Lucky Fool, but Lucky Fool's. I'll just use his full surname.
I've done nothing wrong with that. NRG's a good team. I like him. So a couple of Marines getting suicided there. Revolution still hanging back, doing the right thing, and just look at the units pouring out of Revolution's base now. 30 supply lead on his opponent. And again, the bizarre part is, after losing that, look at the harvester count, 70 to 57 of his opponent. So the income advantage off of the higher harvester count, even though he lost a friggin' billion harvesters, really starting to pay off from this third base. So here we go. We're going to have a little bit of an engagement here. All the units going to rush up the hill for Lucky Fool, going to charge up San Juan. Looks like they're actually going to do a pretty good job of really putting a dent in that force of Revolution. Lucky Fool's supply plummeting down again, though. And Revolution, no matter how many losses he takes, now he's going to catch the tanks unsieged, going to rush in and target fire them down with the stem. Looks like he's going to get the great surround. He's going to clean this up entirely. Lucky Fool way behind and in a lot of trouble. Looks like Revolution, though, thinking about his attack path, and yeah, he's actually going to attack towards this sensor tower, even though there's just now going to be a decent base there. That tower's been there for quite some time. But Revolution actually getting near the supply cap. He's up to 2-2 on his infantry, and more units being rallied across the map. So Lucky Fool really back on his heels and in very, very real danger of losing this really soon.
Oh yeah, and we just see all these things going down. Right now, just completely obliterated that third expansion right there. With that one siege tank, he's going to be able to hold off a lot of stuff coming up and down that pass. Great positioning right there for Revolution. What he can do now is just load up into those medevacs and go right across. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go right across. He is going to meet up with the single missile turret that's right there, but he's going to try to sweep in just on the side. Oh, and a little bit of a misdrop right there. One Marine is just left alone in the crevasse as more and more of those units start coming in for Lucky Fool. And siege up tanks, try to take it out, and this is going to put that drop into a moot point right there.
Well, while he was doing that, he managed to rush up the ramp here and pick off a couple of SCVs, but really not doing a ton of damage. But again, the supply count just so insanely high for Revolution in comparison to his opponent. And a big part of that, I'm all about the strong economy. 92 harvesters, not exactly friggin' necessary, man. So 92 harvesters out right now for Revolution on just 3 bases, might I add, one of which is pretty much completely mined out. Now Lucky Fool going to meet up once again with Revolution here in the middle of the map. The tank siege up for Revolution as he pulls back and manages to draw in those Marines of Lucky Fool. Lucky is sieging up his own tank line, though, and the tank count very superior for Fool, so he's going to be able to hang back and really maintain center control. And, it's kind of weird. Revolution, if you just go by the supply, is literally double the supply of his opponent, but he doesn't look it at all, and that's because he's kind of over-droned, so to speak, or, just made too many SCVs. So dropping down a couple of Marauders on top of these tanks manages to take out 2 tanks and severely damage a third. But Revolution's pretty much in a situation he's going to have to start sacrificing SCVs.
Yeah, and this, that's usually a smart move, dropping stuff right in the middle of those tank lines, letting them siege on top of one another, and let them just try to, chip away at themselves right there.
Here come the sacrificial SCVs. Looks like he's got 24 plus 4, so 28 SCVs ready to lead this charge. That, and again, that makes up the bulk of his supply count. So even though he's way high in supply, just not a lot of fighting force, or not nearly enough as he should have. Now going to move in. The SCV's leading the charge, forcing the tanks to siege up. The Marines going to stem in and try and get somewhat of a flank. Not a lot here to deal with this, though, by Lucky Fool. The tanks evaporating, and there's the GG. So Revolution going to take game 1 in the semifinal matchup in the winner's bracket of our IG LAN event number 4, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Absolute brutal there by Illusion, just crushing that defense that Lucky Fool had put up. Absolutely amazing right there, and that's the kind of stuff that you just really can't fake in a matchup like this. Absolutely amazing. It's crucial to see those kind of little tricks that he was doing throughout the entire event. Amazing. Absolutely can't say enough about that. Okay, looks like he's going to invite us. Oh yeah, and Tiffy's Tacos is, of course, if you do come here to Cyber Guts, we are giving away the buy one get one free on the Tiffy's Tacos, because you gotta have Tiffy's Tacos. So yes, there you go, Carpolo. You were asking about the Tiffy's Tacos. So
Tiffy's Tacos. That's actually what I had for lunch before we started the event this evening.
Oh yeah, we're ready there, Lucky Fool. Going on until Naga Caverns right here. The gentleman's agreement coming into effect right now as we get more and more of these kind of things.
Oh, yeah. Thanks again, by the way, to each and every one of you hanging out with us in the stream and the BattleNet chat and all across the country. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. And this is the IG LAN event number 1, brought to you by itsgosu.com, by Red Bull, by Steel Series, and, of course, by our normal round of sponsors, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us. That's where we are, so if you're in the Fairfax area, come say hi. Max Integration at San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Check them out at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So Revolution, I mean, it was a pretty good matchup, and it seemed like, Revolution, he lost a lot of workers at, one point. Lucky Fool was really on the offensive there for a while as well, but it just, all of a sudden, it just seemed like Revolution exploded out and managed to secure a pretty damn convincing win.
Oh yeah, and with this matchup here, Lucky Fool is a huge fan of Zelnaga Cavern. So I'm really thinking that he's going to do something super cool, super sweet right here, and really put Illusion back on his back foot. We didn't see a lot of that early aggression that Lucky Fool tends to put on. So we really need to see him do something like that again. We really need to see something sweet like that. But Illusion, seeing that something like that could come into effect with Reapers or whatnot, throwing down that Supply Depot right up there, just at the edge, being able to see what's going to come up there. So smart move by him.
Well, it's a build that it seems like I've seen. I'm pretty sure I've seen Revolution do it a couple of times. I would really like to see on a map like this. Is this kind of one racks up to quick factory, fast expand off of Reapers. It's like it's kind of it's this jointed feeling build, but if you do it right, everything kind of falls into place all at once. You get 2 Reapers out, both to scout and to harass and to keep your opponent on his back heels, no matter what he's doing. You've got the quick factory out, so you can decide to one base if you need to. But the idea is you just make nothing but Marines and tanks following that, and get that second command center up as quickly as possible. Down at your expansion. So in Revolution, I know I've seen him do it a couple of times, and I know I've seen him do it on this map. So, not sure if that's what he's got in mind for this matchup, but on this map in particular, it just seems to be so damned effective.
Oh yeah, and so I was trying to take a look at the brackets there to see where we are right there with the losers bracket, because even and the bad news is even if one of these loses, they still have a chance to make it back into the matchup with the losers bracket. So either one of these guys is going to have the ability to pretty much play Apple regardless.
Right. Oh, exactly.
So neither one of them really at this point needs to be thinking that they're in the clear from Avila. But we see that Lucky Fool is going to go down to he's got the barracks, he's going to throw down the factory. More than likely, as soon as that's done, he's going to throw down the starport, go for that quick 1-1-1, and really show Rev what it's like to start doing the drops, all kinds of stuff. Both gases going down right now for both the players, right on top of each other.
Right. So yeah, just look up at the production queue again. And this is what you have when you have guys who are practice partners who know each other in real life and tend to hang out. Everything seems to line up whenever they play. Slight differences in timing and that kind of thing. We see the reactor down for Lucky Fool ahead of Revolution. Revolution not opting to get that reactor at any point in the near future. Instead, just continuing to churn Marines. And I'd say he's probably trying to save up maybe to try and get up a quick expansion. Nope, actually just going to get the starport down. So very, very standard. The 1-1-1, pretty much the most standard opening ever since the beta of StarCraft 2, that and the 3 racks. So, but just very standard play and very consistent play, I should say. And again, we look up, we've got the Hellion on the way for Lucky Fool, and that's kind of what you have to expect, especially on a map that's kind of smallish like Zelnaga Caverns. If you know Lucky Fool, he loves using Hellions to harass. He loves using Hellions just basically to throw you off your game. So he's going to move out, use that to take a little bit of map control, and now Revolution's going to know it's like, oh, okay, this is going to be one of those games with Lucky Fool.
Oh yeah, and Lucky Fool doing a great job now. He's putting out a huge command line right now, going out with that STV. It's going to go down, do a little scouting, going to go check out the going to go check out what's going on down there at the Zelnaga Towers. Illusion's got the one on the left. Lucky's got the one on the right, and he's also repairing up that Hellion. He's going to make an immediate beeline, I guarantee it, right there into Rev's face. See what it can do. Siege Tech coming out now for Illusion, so this is going to be
Banshees as well. So
this is going to be absolutely crazy. I don't know if at this point I would spend the 200 to get the cloak. Honestly, I would try.
There's no reason to. There's no reason
to. Try to get out a couple more of those tanks, because the last thing you need on a map like this, because the main areas are kind of so small, you can shell them pretty quickly with those siege tanks.
Oh yeah, well the whole idea of getting the Banshee out is you can deal with some stray Hellions. You're going to have something that's going to be able to do damage and to hold off what we're seeing here. These 3 Hellions trying to push up, going to be able to take down a couple of these Marines. So here comes a lot of Marines actually out of Lucky Fool, and a Revolution going to have to make hellaciously good use out of this tank and this handful of Marines and his Banshee. He's going to need to pull that Banshee back home. It's all the way across the map. A little bit of a scary push here. Revolution is not shy at all about getting the SCVs in the action. Going to lose a few of those, but looks like he's going to be able to clean this up pretty well. Didn't even try to turn the Banshee away. Instead, going to go to work now trying to pick off SCVs. One's going to die. Looks like maybe take out 2. Yeah, 2 SCVs, make it 3. And wow, just really going to town here. Lucky Fool has nothing to deal with this Banshee. Up to 7 kills now, up to 8. Call it 9. Plus
Still
one
going.
more is 10, so double digits. This is just murderous here. And the love of my life, the chick who is so much hotter than the medic, just absolutely going to town. 14 kills. Are you kidding me? He's going to keep going. 15 kills. That captain. That's right. That's a sexy captain. And oh, please pull out. Please pull out. That's what she said. Please pull out. Please pull out.
That's exactly what we got.
I just want to point out, I beat everybody to the laugh there. I got the that's what she said in before you guys started laughing. So
Oh, my
2 hit points. 2 hit points. So gonna make it out with 15 kills and 2 hit points, and that's just the hero friggin' unit of the night, my friend.
Yeah, that she is definitely getting lots of drinks paid for there back at the bar. That is absolutely amazing. The Energizer Bunny of Banshee pilots right there just keeps going in and out, and we see that Lucky doing the same thing there to Rev, trying to take it when he can, but unfortunately, he only got 8 kills right there for that young lady. With the double scan down, and those Marines were able to sack.
That's like the the fat friend who tags along. And just tries very hard to act like she's the queen bee of the evening, but everybody knows the real woman, the real lady with the 2 hit points is hanging right there. 15 friggin' kills, man. 15 friggin' kills. Put that in perspective.
That's a whole lot. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and run that right back in there and have that ready to go. He's setting himself up a nice little siege line there. He needs to move them up just a little bit because they're just short of being able to take on that entire ramp. But that is going to be devastating to Lucky Fool when he actually gets out there.
Oh yeah.
Smart move there by Rev. He does have that 1 SCV there ready to repair anything that gets damaged, and he's got that Viking there for vision. Fantastic move here. I like this. Lock him into that base with everything that he's been throwing out. He's not going to be able to hold into one base for very, very long because he's going to have to move out. He's going to get mined out too quickly.
Oh, yeah, well, it's kind of weird. We see that Revolution's one basing as well, so he's actually not taking a gigantic advantage in terms of economy anyway, which is what I'd like to see him do. Instead, he looks like he just wants to push in and try and end the game right now. SCVs and the tanks and the Marines trying to push all this back. Oh, tell me they didn't get the Banshee. Tell me they didn't get the girl, the hero. I'm going to check on that later. She better not die or I'll hate you forever, Revolution.
She's still in there.
There she is. So, yeah, there she is with 16 kills and 124 hit points. Still hanging in, but I'm really again just surprised to see Revolution doing this. We saw Revolution up on 95 harvesters in the last game, a guy who loves his damned economy, and instead when he's got his opponent locked in about as well as he can, he's just opting not to expand. That's just bizarre to me. And now finally floating it out. That's been there for a while. I was wondering when he was actually going to get it involved. So this Raven offering all the vision that's needed here by Revolution, going to continue to shell away and pick at this barracks. And oh wow, you can tell just how frazzled Lucky Fool is. He's just going to GG out. He had 10 Marines queued up all at once. So Revolution, I got to say, we love Lucky Fool. The guy's an amazing player, but he just got kind of shellacked by Revolution.
Yeah, that was just and I think it's just because Lucky Fool was just a little tired because he was competing in the MLG pre-qualifiers earlier today,
right?
Taking on Stay Life, and really, if you're going to go right from Stay Life to playing all the way through these brackets, it is an exhausting event right there. And now Rev is going to take on Avalo, right now. This is going to be unbelievable watching this matchup here. And honestly, I think he was, maybe he was just trying to bite the bullet. Maybe he just didn't want to take on Avalo right now.
Right.
He wanted Avalo to go ahead and crush.
Well, there's
Rev,
so much history between.
Then,
so much history between those two. Yeah, I can just imagine a situation where Lucky Fool's like, no, I'd rather lose than play Avalo again. Thank you very much. I'd rather just lose outright. That's fine. So, did we get a count? By the way, I know it was kind of depending on how many people we had show up. We had a prize pool set that was guaranteed, but we're going to augment that with whatever profit that we could have made. We were going to throw that right back into the prize pool. Did we get an exact count on what the prize pool is for this evening?
I do not know what the exact prize pool is. I know I was there when Mr. Mini-Me was trying to total it up, but I had to come down here to check to make sure we were done setting things up. So I did not hear, but I will try to see if we can't get that as soon as possible.
All right, guys, thanks so much for being here with us. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is the IG LAN event #1, brought to you by itsghosty.com, and of course by our wonderful sponsors, Red Bull and Steel Series. If you're a gamer, you know who those two guys are. I don't need to elaborate. But then, of course, we've got our normal round of sponsors that we always sing the praises of when it comes to our metric shit ton of events that we have going on each and every week. Hypocrite Games, cyberground.us, that's where we are, by the way. So if you're in the Fairfax area, come out and say hi to us. It'll be absolutely our pleasure. But so check them out online to get the location and directions if you happen to be in the area. Max Integration and San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. And, we're actually, I'll go ahead and take a minute to scream that out while I pop up our calendar. We're giving away more than $1,000 in limited edition collector's magic cards. We're talking rare stuff here. Red Mage just got the details on that, but as I understand it, they were only put on sale at one place in one time. It was the New York Comic Convention. And we got our hands on a bunch of packs of them. They they go wholesale at $15 a pack. Retail, the value is even higher. We're giving those out each and every night in all the events you see here. Our Beta, Alpha, Omega divisionals, as well as our Omega Cup, our Gosu Cup, our King of the Hills, all that fun stuff. So make sure you head to itsgosu.com, check out our full calendar of events, get signed up, make an account, and join the It's Gosu fun. And you can, depending on what you think of the stream here, you can either enjoy Red Mage and I casting you or just put up with it in order to have some great games. So looks like we're working on things right now. Where are we at, Red Mage?
Still looking for a game right now. We're lining some up. Revolution and Avalon need to take a little bit of a break right there. But both of those guys have been playing pretty much straight through for a while now. So they just need to take a quick fiver just to kind of get recentered. Let the energy flow back into their hands into, avoid all the cramping that tends to come with, massively playing this game, at high speeds like they do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, with just the quality of players so great. By the way, a couple people on Battle.net are asking about the music. Go ahead and pop that back up. HaloTopic.newgrounds.com, MySpace.com/Indigo League. You're hearing Indigo League in the background right now. Check them out. And, of course, the man of the hour that seems to be everyone's favorite artist, at least that we feature, Ronald Jinkies at RonaldJinkies.com. Check him out. Buy his album, Disorganized Fun. All right, guys, so we got a little lull in the action, just a minor lull while we work on this. We're planning to bring you Avalo versus Revolution. Are they taking a break, or what's the deal here? Okay. Yep, so we're going to let them take a break. We're waiting on another match out of the losers bracket. And you tell you what, I'm going to see if I can pop that bracket up for you. Just bear with us and enjoy the lovely sounds of Ronald Jinkies for a moment. Alrighty, guys, here you go. The brackets for you to look at and enjoy. One would only hope. We could see the winner's bracket up there at the top. And as we can see, VT Avalo making it all the way to the best of 5 here. This is going to be the finals from the winner's bracket. And we're working our way ever so slowly through the losers bracket. SKS Dark dropping his losers bracket game. The stupid newbie 0-2. SKS Dark, good friend of ours, so we always root for him. Always want to see him do well. He helps us out with so many of our live events. But, as you can see, we've got kind of a stacked field here. We're talking some Grandmaster caliber players. We're going to have Revolution taking on, that's actually misreported, that score there. I'm sorry, those are the brackets. This hasn't been, or excuse me, the seeds. The actual results haven't been reported. But, in the championship of the winners bracket, going to be VT Avalo and Revolution. And it looks like Orb is our first guy to make it to one of the semifinal matchups here of the losers bracket. Can't wait to see exactly what's going to happen moving into the best of 5 series and our grand finals, going for the clash for the cash. And trying to bring everything up. So, by the way, thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with us. Please, 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 I beg you, hit like, hit follow, hit tweet, all that fun stuff. If nothing else, even if you don't want to fool with all the Facebook and the Twitter nonsense, I hate that shit too. At the very, very least, please, I beg of you, hit follow. Not for our egos, not for anything but our sponsors, Steel Series and Red Bull. I mean, come on, it doesn't get much bigger than that. We got them on board for this event. We really want to impress them, and I guarantee we're going to have a lot more events and a lot more money and prizes being given out, just so long as we can get the followers and the viewers. If you got a couple of friends that are hanging around and wondering what to do because they're hanging out at like their grandparents' house because it's the holiday weekend or what have you, point them this way. We really, really appreciate it. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. So, still waiting to find our next matchup. So, while Red Mage actually snaps into his microphone, trying to figure out whatever audio issues may be there. Hey, Team FL, brother. We understand. I got it. We're in the middle of a live event. We'll, if you have something to offer us, great. You don't have to continue hollering out in the stream. We got it, brother. We appreciate the offer, really and truly. I haven't gotten any image. If I get it, I'll throw it up there. I worked... It's not popping up. All right, we tried to get that up there for you. See, and that's fine, Team FL. If you want to offer some help, fine. You got to understand, I don't have time to constantly be watching the stream. Now that you got it to me, I tried to put it up. Because it's a PNG, I can't just post it right into XSplit. I just tried to do it. That's what you saw all the little graphics disappear for. So trying to get it up for you. We appreciate it, but there's no reason to get snappy and mouthy in the stream because I didn't happen to see it. So thanks anyway, though. Thanks to each and every one of you still hanging out with us. Arkansas, Carpola, Argusting. Sacred System. Who else is in here? Team FL, of course.
Rockin' Sassy's in here as always.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to put that in a JPEG FL, feel free, my friend. Like I said, we're not snobs here. I'll take any help we can get. I have more than willing to admit that we do need help on the graphic side of things, but yeah, just don't get mouthy, man. Ain't no reason to get mouthy. When ain't nothing but love. One love. All right, guys, since we're still waiting on a matchup, I want to know who's hotter, Medic or Banshee Chick?
I'm telling you, man, Medic right there.
Nope, Banshee Chick. Hey, thanks, DJ Final. Love hearing you, too. Well, seeing what you type or what the hell?
See? Look, Medic right there.
No, see, no.
Medic.
Oh, no, wait. No, it's Banshee. So it's 3-2. It's 3-2.
I'm telling you, I don't know why I'm holding your cigarette lighter like it's a cigarette. I don't even smoke.
Augustine says...
Dang, dude. I don't know. I kind of have a thing for Swan. I think.
Okay, Sacred System just said Queen of Blades. Okay, are we talking, are we talking Queen of Blades like true Queen of Blades? Or are we talking like Heart of the Swarm Queen of Blades? By the way, there's a leaked video out. There's a leaked video out from the trailer from the new Heart of the Swarm. If you haven't caught that yet, definitely Google that. Just put leaked Heart of the Swarm video.
And we had that conversation earlier. That is it leaked or is it leaked? So
well, is it leaked or is it nudge nudge wink wink bunny ears wink?
Bunny ears leaked. But yeah, it's twice as thank you twice as many votes right there for the Medic. Boom.
You packed the room. No, you packed the room. It's not fair.
So yeah, a lot of people say they heard that it was fake.
Yeah,
I'm more than willing to believe that it's a bunny ears leaked
right
trailer, that was assembled from like a lot of different things, because there was one a couple of weeks ago that was completely fake. You knew it had to be fake, and it was just absolutely crazy. All
right, there we go. How's that? Everybody like that much better? That is a damn good looking graphic. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks good. There's no doubt about it. Although we do need to put a hypocrite in there, and SteelSeries. Oh no, he's got Steel Series.
No, these are just. Well, I've got them on the normal ad screen. So. Okay. But yeah, so don't you just love, we try to put on a professional production till there's a lull, then it's just like, what do? Do we take the stream offline? It's like, no, we're just going to sit and screw around. So once again, thanks to each and every one of you in the stream, and thanks for the graphic. I really do appreciate it. I just don't like whenever I finally take the time to alt-tab into the stream and check the chat, it's like, God, guys, geez, God, guys, I offer the help and you guys suck because it's half production value. And it's like, yeah, we know, man. It's just, I can't help it. I'm the one running the stream, and I don't have time to tab in most of the time. So, but once again, thank you. It is a damn good or a damn nice graphic. And, no, you are not nice. I can copy-paste to you exactly what you said. Here we go. Hang on. Screw it. Either way, you get the point. We appreciate it. I did not. Okay, that's all right. You are okay. Fine. You're nice. You're nice. I'll give you a hell yeah. Bring it. Come at me, bro. Come at me. But seriously, no, we do appreciate it, and actually, we are looking for graphic help. So if you want to pop an email,
I did.
You already did?
Yeah.
He could wreck you. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but whatever. No, neither Red Mage or I are small guys exactly. So yeah, Death Priest posted it. Again, I take that as a little bit snarky, as if we're unappreciative and not after the help or anything. And again, that was not my intention. I just happened to alt-tab for the first time. I had no idea the graphic had even been made. Oh, you're from Army? Cool. Thanks for the service, bro. Oh, really? Yeah, no joke. Especially this weekend, we appreciate it. Each and every one of us that it goes to, and damn well better be each and every one of you in the stream. No lie.
Fortunately, I'm from a Marine Corps family, so.
Right.
Let's see. We're still waiting on a matchup here. We're still waiting to see where Rev is. Let me go see if I can't find Rev and Avila. See if they're kind of hanging out and doing whatever.
Right.
Love Army wives.
All right, we're working on tracking down Revolution at the moment. We wanted to give him a break, but we're thinking his break was maybe a little too long. He's taking advantage. Damn him, shake fist, etc., etc., etc. But seriously, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Okay, Avilo's eating. Well, hopefully we can get him back. Thank you very much, Arkansassi, the woman who told us the correct way to pronounce Avilo. Red Mage and I have been pronouncing it Avilo, and I'm like, how do you know? And she's like, yeah, I'm kind of his girlfriend. It's like, oh, guess I'll just shut the fuck up for a little while then. But, all right, thanks, Team FL. Really and truly, we appreciate it. I'm mostly just busting your balls kind of to be doing it. But yeah, Arkansassi, you're great. Thanks so much, guys. I would love it if you could bounce this out to your viewers. Hit like on Facebook. I mean, just get some more of your friends involved. So what's the status here, Red Mage? Where are we at?
I'm still looking for Avila. Can't find him. Rev's back in the trailer.
Arkansassi just told us he's eating.
Is he eating? Is that eating?
Probably down at Tippy's Tacos, if I had to guess.
Because that's where everybody goes right there is to Jan Tippy's Tacos. Enjoy, which you can come down here. Actually, you can get there's nice coupons there. Get the buy one get one free.
Exactly.
For the meals here, and that's always awesome because you can have the 4 taco meal that fills you up pretty quick.
Oh Lord! So do we have a losers bracket game coming up, man? I feel bad. We've got all these people hanging out with us in the stream, and I'll tell you what. Here,
just have to chat with us.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Since you guys are hanging out with the stream, let's have a little fake call-in talk show deal here. Red Mage and I are here to talk. I actually worked in radio for a few years. I worked as a talk show host for a little while. So ask us a question. I don't care what it's about. It doesn't have to be SC2 related. Anything in the world to fill time while we wait. While we wait for somebody, please, to get ready for a game.
Yeah, that's right. Is that chucklehead next to you really named Red Mage? Let's see. I think people are trying to think of the funniest questions that they can ask for them.
I think, or maybe they just are bored with us and beginning to leave.
I definitely think they're bored with us.
Oh, okay, here we got one. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I don't know. He's too busy getting Geico.
No, actually, to me, it's a simple exercise for the student. You simply take the kinetic energy, which can be mustered forth by any given woodchuck or the subject woodchuck, divide that by a given number of chucks of wood, so to speak. And
so is that an E equals woodchuck squared?
Yeah, something like that. I guess we could play a game. Yeah, you want to? Let's run a replay for him. We've got so many good replays. Here, I'll tell you what. Well, yeah, we'll give you a sneak preview of one of our Faction Wars games. That's actually a great idea. Let's see. Who do we want to run? Trying to find an epic game. Yeah, our Faction Wars is actually $500 grand prize and featuring 6 of the best teams going right now. Here, I'll tell you what. Here, let's do.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see him raffle stomp me. Absolutely not. Yeah, that's. I can show you the replay of it, and it'll be better than if he and I actually play it, because that would be a devastating loss.
I'll tell you what. You want to replay the final game? I don't know if this was the final game or not from the event last week. It was CC Strength and Revolution, and the final game was on Shatter Temple, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Sure. Was that a 1050? Yeah, that's the 10. Yeah, that's the final game.
I know there was one epic one on Zelnaga Caverns. Yeah, we'll run this one.
Rice Krispies or Frosted Flakes? Really? That's the only one you can come up with?
Lame-o. Yeah, you may want to go ahead and play a replay for our viewers as well here. They're just kind of hanging out if you can. But anyway, yeah, here. I've got the replay going. Go ahead and hide that down. And go ahead and turn the music down for you as well. So yeah, this is one of the most epic games of all time, and I'll tell you what, Red Mage and I we haven't had a chance really to pee or get something else to drink. We're just going to set this to Revolutions Cam and leave it on follow for a little bit, and we'll be right back in about 5 minutes, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I thought that was the replay for a second. I know, I tell you.
He's magical.
You have to exit out of that because he can't invite you to the game.
Research complete.
SCV ready. Ready to roll out.
All right, guys, we're officially back. We're getting ready to exit out of this replay. We're going to be finally tracked down a game for us to stream. So, once again, thank you to FL for this great graphic he created just for our event. We picked it up in the middle, so yes, I'm coming. Hang on. Red Mage getting ready to beat me about the head and shoulders while they're waiting on me to join the game. So, thanks so much to everyone hanging out with us. You know, and it's a shame. Our viewership numbers were a little bit higher than we had. A minor disaster when Lucky Fool accidentally unplugged the entire stream.
We still love him, though.
Oh yeah, well, of course we love the guy. Just saying that we were doing a little bit better. He stepped on honestly, he could have stepped on pretty much any cord and it would have only half crippled the stream. He stepped on the one cord that literally pulled everything, and I mean everything, offline. So that lost us our featured status on Team Liquid. But hey, either way, we got 26 by my count right now of the best people in the world hanging out in here with us. Hopefully we're going to see that grow. Please, guys, send that link out to everyone you know. We really appreciate it. Hit like, hit tweet, and definitely hit that follow. The follow is really, really what makes the difference. So joining up in the game now, we're going to have little Lucky Fool taking on Deceive, and this is going to be from the losers bracket, correct?
Yes, this is a part of the losers bracket, yes.
And it's kind of weird to see Lucky Fool in the losers bracket, you know?
Oh yeah, it is an odd thing, because usually it's just kind of a single elimination round robin kind of a thing. So I think it's nice that we're able to kind of do this double elimination thing. So So as we're kind of hanging out, watching everybody, we want to thank everybody that did follow us on the stream today. Thank you guys very much. We hope to see more and more of you for our event. And don't forget that we have tons and tons of things going on at itsgosu.com. 5 to 6 events a week between now and the end of the year. We're only adding stuff on, and it's always great. And I definitely want to send a quick shout out to Red Bull. Thank them for coming on out. They came out, gave everybody out some free Red Bulls all over the place. So we've all been super sugar high all day. And of course our new partner Steel Series, who came out and, not really here, but was able to kind of give us a lot of great posters and things like that we put up on the wall, and we look forward to doing more and more with them in the future.
Oh yeah, going to be jumping right into the game though, and wow, all of a sudden it feels kind of weird to be in a game. It's like got so used to just hanging out and chatting with y'all. So Lucky Fool going to be taking on Deceive here in the losers bracket. And Lucky Fool is bound to be a favorite to make a run through the losers bracket and claw his way back into the grand final match. Deceive's not a player I'm familiar with at all, but hey, doesn't mean he's bad, just means he happens to be in a bad situation facing one of the... Yeah, Lucky Fool actually pointing out quite accurately. I got to admit, we're a little Terran heavy in our field. Terran heavy.
I've never seen it. Usually it was this Terran heavy early in the year, but you and I were discussing the other day that the Terran had become like the off race, that there's been more Protoss and more... Zerg coming up. We see a little bit of a minor pause there. The screen just glitched out.
We're going to get a tournament admin over there, and we'll see what's going on exactly. So, looks like Revolution, the hero, maybe helping him out.
Possibly. Maybe not.
Maybe not. We can't tell.
Nope. Looks like they're fixing it over there.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yay, can see again.
See, that's just how baller Revolution is. He's out stomping nerd faces, fixing screens left and right, put the guy on retainer, give him a paycheck. So, but But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's like I've lost my train of thought. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about. Anyway,
you failed, so to speak. See, you have that's the red maid syndrome taking over right there. You just can't do it.
oh, hang on. Oh, are we talking red mage syndrome? 1 second. Casper Van Dien. Now I'm you.
Yeah, there you go.
Now I'm you.
Now you're right on the same task. But if you don't know what you're talking about, you say Casper Van Dien. That's absolutely right, AC. Casper Van Dien.
Well, while we're talking about terrible movie actors, I just want to remind people, if you happen to be into Magic the Gathering, make sure you tune in for all of our events throughout each and every week, Beta, Alpha, Omega Divisionals, all that fun stuff. We are giving away more than $1,000 in special collector's Magic cards. And, we're talking Magic cards that you can't really get anywhere else. They were sold at one place, that was the New York Comic Convention. They're the Planeswalker series. Red Mage knows a bit more about them than I do. But they are the Planeswalker Series limited edition. And, we're talking decks that have a pretty high chance of giving you cards that are $60, $70 a pop. And this is, $15 a pack, and that's wholesale, not even retail. So even if you're not into Magic the Gathering, I'm sure if you're listening to this stream, you're a nerd, and you know somebody who likes Magic the Gathering. And more to the point, even if not, don't worry about it. Toss them on eBay. You'll make some quick money just for hanging out on our stream. So always check in, hit follow, and if you don't like, I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying, hey, I don't like getting the emails when I hit follow somebody's stream. You can turn that off. I know for a fact you can. And
yeah, because I had to do it for ours when I stopped following our stream, so I know when we were going live when I wasn't there, so that way I knew when I had to be somewhere real quick.
Right, exactly. So you can turn that off. We would. I hope you wouldn't. I hope you would like to know when we're going live. We're not one of those streams that turns off and on 15 times a day. We usually turn on once a day, and then we broadcast all the way through, then turn it off. So, but even if one email a day is too much trouble for you, you can just turn it off. So, again, we just picked up SteelSeries as a sponsor. Red Bull's helping us out with this event, and that's in large part due to the people coming out, watching the stream, hitting follow, and all that fun stuff. So anyway, back to actual StarCraft stuff instead of us begging you for things. We'll give you a little bit of analysis. Looks like we're going to see pretty typical, Lucky Fool, this is kind of his go-to bread and butter build in a TVT. Loves to get down, getting the tech lab down on the barracks. Most likely, Hellion on the way. He'll switch that factory over to get the Blue Flame upgrade pretty quickly. And Revolution actually doing the exact same thing, except going a little bit awkwardly about it. Not going to try anything cute like a tech switch. Instead, just going to get the tech lab right off.
So to Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, well, you know what it was? It was Revolution was in the game observing with us. Then he left and messed with me. Had Revolution on the mind, so good call. I'm a moron. Such is life. So the Infernal Pre-Igniter now going down here for Lucky Fool. And, I'm actually kind of surprised to see. Starport almost done now for Lucky Fool. He's surely to goodness we're going to see some kind of Banshee play. Given the close air positions here in a TVT with a player like Lucky Fool, he's going to have to get Banshees.
Oh, yeah. It's very, very interesting player. We see that Hellion popping out right now for Lucky Fool. He's timing it almost about right where he should be getting that Blue Flame just in time for it to reach over there. We see that medevac being made at the same time. In close air positions like this, he's ready to rock and roll. He does have that medevac is going to pop up. It is going to immediately go right there to just outside of the base there in Deceive's Fog of War on the lower ground, and Deceive, probably knowing that Lucky Fool likes to pull these kind of shenanigans, is starting to put a supply depot down there in the corner just to try to get some sort of vision. But it's this back area here that he's really going to have to watch out for to make sure that nothing's going to happen.
All right, Lucky Fool's loaded up 3 Hellions, and these are Blue Flame. The Blue Flame eyes going a bit early, not quite done, so at least the first shot or two only going to be normal. He's still going to get, he still hasn't killed a single SCV. Big waste there, tremendous waste. Only got about 2 or 3 SCVs because he jumped the gun, went a little bit too early. He's doing decent damage, and really has Deceive kind of on his back heels now, chasing around and wrangling a few stray SCVs. But really, he could have just crippled his opponent if he had just waited about 5 more seconds. Breaks my heart to see it.
Yeah, great job there by Lucky Fool to at least let Deceive know that, hey, I'm not leaving you alone during this matchup. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on you,
right?
And really, to really show him, to really show him more or less that your side there is uncovered. You need to put something over there. So that's gonna right now you see him putting down the engineering bay. So then he's gonna have to start throwing down some missile turrets and really try to block off that side.
Oh, here we go, another drop. We're gonna see those Hellions go back in for round 2, augmented with some of their Marine friends, and this time they're gonna have the Blue Flame, the tank in position though, so gonna be able to chase this away relatively easy. And again, it just kills me. I mean, Lucky Fool did a good amount of damage. He's in the lead right now, undoubtedly in the lead. But really, if he had just waited a few more seconds, the SCV count right now of Deceive looks like he's got right around 17 SCVs hanging out, plus a few extras in gas that didn't get included in that big box and drag look. But he could have cut that in half without a doubt if he had just waited for Blue Flame for that first drop. We're having a mime moment here. Red Mage is trying to tell me something. Oh, good. The mic's glitching up again. So go ahead and drop that out. We'll see if we can figure out exactly what the issue is. And wouldn't be live if it wasn't fucked up. So thanks for hanging out and putting up with us, folks. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Deceive going to be moving out this command center. So looks like he's actually, kind of, it's going to be close. He's going to be ahead of Lucky Fool and trying to get that expansion up since it was already upgraded. Lucky Fool not too terribly far behind, though. Got tanks of his own, so he's going to be quite safe. And Deceive just doing normal things, moving out, taking both of his gas. And really, I'm kind of surprised to see that Lucky Fool backed off the aggression. He was doing so well with the drops. He got turned away once just due to a well-positioned siege tank. And now it just looks like he's kind of resigned himself to a little bit of passivity. He's going to move out into the middle of the map. But he's just kind of moving out, looks like, to take some sort of a map position. I'd love to see him load up these 2 medevacs and try and abuse this high ground that's going to be relatively unguarded, especially as soon as he spots the fact that Deceive has already taken his expansion here. But looks like, yeah, he's skirting around with the medevacs. Actually just going to siege up on the low ground and try and take pot shots using those medevacs to grant him vision. So, by the way, if you're hearing me right now and you're wondering where Red Mage disappeared to, he's trying to fix his glitchy mic. Hopefully that's going to be an issue no more as soon as he gets that handled. Lucky Fool continuing to shell. He's going to be able to take down at least one of these supply depots. And this is just so annoying. It's a terrible position to be in. You feel like you can't move. Oh, he's going to lose the siege tank. So that siege tank's gone. And Lucky Fool really just in a commanding position right now. We see this small Marine force of Deceive trying to loop its way back around to get a flank. But a handful of Marines there for Lucky Fool should be able to handle that without much of a doubt. And really all the production facilities beginning to fall now for Deceive. We're going to see a GG forthwith with almost certainly. Little bit of lag. Not sure what's causing that, but
I think it's because my laptop is a little overheated, so hopefully the glitchiest thing, but I can kind of hear it in the background kind of switching up, so I'll try to fix that as soon as I can.
All right, so you're back on the mic with me. Good to have you back, my friend. People get sick of just hearing my voice. Marine's going to push in now, and not a whole lot here to defend. One tank way out of position, trying to run away and siege up. Lucky Fool, yeah, this is going to be GG. This is pretty much a foregone conclusion. So Deceive going to fall down as soon as he figures out where the G key on his keyboard is. Tap it twice, buddy. Tap it twice. Anytime he's ready. Anyway, Lucky Fool. This is the first game in this matchup. Going to be a best of 3, so Deceive's going to have a little bit of a chance to redeem himself. But really, Lucky Fool just kind of cleaning things up quite handily here without a whole lot of resistance. Just pushing his way all the way up the ramp. And Deceive down to 9 supply. There it is, the GG. So Lucky Fool taking game 1 here of this Losers Bracket series over Deceive here. The IG LAN event #1, our inaugural event, brought to you by itsgosu.com, by SteelSeries, and by Red Bull. Actually, that would be a wonderful thing, Don Jobneck. We are trying to do that. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a Redditor from way back. You know, you can actually look me up on Reddit. Sound stuttering. Is my sound stuttering, Argusting? Oh, yeah. nice to see there's a few more Redditors in here. I'm a Redditor for 2 years. I'm a Reddit Gold member. I've been around on our StarCraft since the Brood War days, and my pedigree goes way back on Reddit. And I loved what Feargorm and the guys did. And right now it seems like the new admins of SC Reddit are trying. Yeah, well, I get around a little bit. Like I said, well, depending on where you lived, you may have heard me on the radio once or twice. I kind of worked in radio for a while. Okay, my voice is good, but the background is stuttering. We think we know what the issue is. I'm pretty sure we're getting that handled right now. Red Mage, one of his computers, we believe, is overheating. As you can imagine, we've got a packed house here at Cyberground. We've got a bunch of computers going, a lot of nerds nerding it up, and that tends to get kind of hot and sweaty. So, don't worry. Hey, I wasn't on DC 101. Don't worry about it. I wasn't on that. No worries. All right, guys. Looks like we're just about ready to get going on the next game. We're going to be getting we've got a beautiful team here working on cooling down this one PC. I'm ready to go, but so I'll be solo casting this next matchup. Hopefully, that's not going to bother folks too terribly much. And this is the IG LAN event, of course, #1, our inaugural edition. We hope to be bringing more and more of these to you. This was sponsored by SteelSeries, by Max Integration, by Red Bull, and, of course, by the whole slew of other sponsors we have. Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, that's where we are. Make sure you look it up online. If you're in the Fairfax area, come down and say hi. Max Integration and San Yamabushi Jiu-Jitsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. So jumping right into this game, too. And really, I got to say, Lucky Fool looked pretty sharp. That's kind of putting it nicely. His opponent just seemed to be, for lack of a better way to put it, just seemed to be a smidge outclassed. So we're going to see if that's the case, or if maybe he just had an off game. Jumping right into the action. Lucky Fool spawning down at this bottom position on Metalopolis, and Deceive spawning in the brushed blue, as Red Mage so loves to call it, that pastel blue at the 12 o'clock position. So a little bit more TVT action, and really Lucky Fool, his standard build, his go-to bread and butter TVT build with the Hellions and favoring Banshees, and then a little bit of Siege, not exactly going for that heavy Siege expansion sort of a style, but instead just trying to use Siege as almost support units, just mixing in with the kitchen sink build that is Hellions, Marines, Banshees, and whatever the hell else he feels like throwing into it. That tends to favor him so well every time he uses it. Again, you can just tell when he uses it, it's what he's most comfortable doing. And given the way that Deceive, and again, not trying to knock on the guy, but he did seem a bit outclassed in that last matchup. Wouldn't surprise me a bit to see Lucky Fool just basically do exactly the same thing. So once again, thanks to everyone hanging out with us in the stream and all that fun stuff. And it looks like I'm getting a lot of background noise according to Skype.
Yeah, that might be me messing up again. Let me double check.
All right. So still fighting with some light sound issues. And this is what sucks. We worked so hard to try and get this together, and it seems like everything's just kind of been hit and miss. So, yep, as you can see, still playing with the mic levels. Thanks so much, guys. And now I'm hearing myself through my own headphones again, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you're going to be hearing an echo in the stream as well. So we're trying to bring you the action. Yep, I'm hearing a bad echo.
See if that works. How about that? Is that working for you, AC? Hopefully that's back and better than ever.
Oh, it is. Much better. Thank you so much, Red Mage. Sorry to have to get quiet for you there, guys, but I got a feeling hearing my voice echo over and over again would be just as annoying for you guys as it would for me. So I just shut the hell up for a bit and I let Red Mage work out the issue. So jumping back into the action, the starport going down now for Lucky Fool. We see the Hellions, of course, being rallied across the map, as he is wont to do in the reactor there on the barracks as well. So more Marine Hellion, most likely going to be Banshee play. And Deceive has actually just walled off his ramp entirely. He's got 3 supply depots trying to block things off. We see he's got the tech lab, and he's making tanks, but no tank research on the way quite yet. So, Deceive, and again, it's just one of those things. When you go against a guy like Lucky Fool, unless you're really on top of your game, you're going to look outclassed. And just looking at the way things look right now, just based on, base layout, tech paths, how crisp the timings are, the little cute things like the Marine spread here by Lucky Fool. I just can't help but feel that Deceive is just a mite outclassed.
Just a little bit there, AC. I'm not hearing you in the stream. It's a weird thing. I'm not even hearing me in the stream.
Well, guys, are you hearing us in the stream? If you can hear me, please say yes in the stream.
We can't. I can't even tell if anybody's speaking. I don't know if the delay is just that bad that you can't find it or what. Okay, you guys can hear us? Okay.
Okay, good.
Just Red Mage sucks. Hold on, I have an answer.
All right, back to the action. From now on, you know what? I'm just not even going to care. If something goes wrong, it goes wrong. I'm casting all the way through. If it fucks up, it fucks up. What happened?
I reloaded the page and I had my headset all the way up.
What a shit show. I mean, really. What a fucking shit show. Anyway.
We might as well go to the National Zoo and just pick up a couple of monkeys and have them sit back here. I think they're going to do it.
Exactly. Anyway, Lucky Fool pressuring the front.